Hey everyone, and welcome to Mayfield and Friends, episode 36. Today I have Lyfe on the cast, most notably known for his Inquisitor Ultimate Iron Man Combat Only series on YouTube. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name's Sam. I also go by Life on YouTube, as you just heard. I play a 30 defense, combat only Ultimate Iron Man. Bit of a mouthful, but that is pretty much just means that I only train the combat stats in Slayer. I also have a maxed main old school RuneScape account, which is practically an alt for my combat only. And I also have a RuneScape 3 combat only Iron Man, which last time I played it was 2023, but I got a good like 6 episodes into it on YouTube before calling it quits because old school RuneScape is just looking pretty bright in the future, and that's another bond I don't have to worry about paying for.
Fair enough, yeah, especially bond prices are going up.
Oh, yeah.
Going up again. Good thing
Recent.
I buy membership once per year.
Oh, yeah, I got Premier Club on my main 2 accounts. That price increase recently, though, on bonds is like, ooh, hitting the Grand Exchange a little hard. I think bonds are up to what, 13 mil now?
Yeah, they've been steadily rising, and I remember last time I bought a bond, they were like 7 mil. So it's been a
Oh my
while since I've
god.
actually purchased one. I don't like ever buy them. I just pay with real money. I'm lazy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I make enough from PVMing on Inquisitor and on the main whenever new content releases to like sustain both accounts, which is really nice because I don't have that real money burden, I guess.
Oh, I'm in the exact opposite. I make enough in my real life where I like it doesn't even. I think I pay for 3 accounts right now.
Damn. Yeah, you got your Skiller. What are your other 2 accounts?
My real life friend recently was like, I don't know what to do with my life. So me and my
Oh,
other friend, who also plays RuneScape, he is a maxed Iron Man PVM guy. We were like, why don't you make a group Iron Man with us?
oh, I see.
So we've been playing RuneScape with a guy who hasn't played since like he was like 11.
Pull him in the deep end, huh?
Yeah, well, I got him really into Escape from Tarkov. You ever played that game before?
I've not, but I've seen quite a few videos on it. It looks very interesting on the extraction shooter front.
I got him really. We were really into that for a while. He didn't play video games before we started hanging out. Like after a while, and then I built him a computer, and then it was just downhill from there.
Oh, yep.
I
As it always goes.
I ruined his life basically. And then the RS3 account I also uh pay for just money because it is
Yeah.
also an Iron Man, so I don't make any money on that to like throw out bonds.
Yeah. Well, I think the plus side to just having the main on old school as well as Inquisitor is I can always drop my loot over to the main if I don't want to keep it or if I don't need anything. And of course, doing chambers recently, you get a lot of herbs, you get a lot of ore, etc., all those raw supplies that I can just drop over to the main account. And I think I've spent the past couple to few months in chambers, and I think I've made around 50 mil on the main, between like dropped uniques as well, and all the other piddly loot that my account does not care about.
Perfect. And I guess since we're talking about it, why don't we dive into like the inspiration behind the 30 defense Ultimate Iron Man, and not only that, but going further in the restriction with doing nothing else besides just combat. So, what was kind of like your inspiration to start doing that?
Ooh, there's a few points for this one. Um, so send your mind back to 2020. I'm just about to max my main account, agility last stat as you do, and I'm not really interested in any of the existing endgame content. And at the current moment, the release content cadence for old school is not looking very bright. So, losing excitement on the main. And at the time, I was watching someone by the name of Colton Ryan on Twitch, and he was playing a combat only account, combat only UIM.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would hop into his streams, hop in the morning, because, at that time, everybody is going remote for the worldwide thing that happened. And hop in the morning, do some college work, and then bop bippity boop. We're watching the live streams in the morning. And every time I would hop into the live stream, he would tell me to make a combat only account. Every time. Weeks on end. And that's reason number one. Very heavily influenced, I guess you could say.
Peer pressure, if you will.
Yeah. Number two, I really liked the, I guess, gameplay path of the account. It was something unique, and I wanted to experience RuneScape in a completely different way compared to how I did my main account. And I guess we could also talk about third point, the YouTube landscape at the time, and like the content being uploaded there. I saw a lot of other unique type of accounts being made, other series being made, but
the boom
these,
of the
yeah,
Snowflake Iron Man.
yeah, but these snowflakes, they would do like one episode, 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and then they'd quit. They'd stop. And it was one of those things where it's like, well, if you're not gonna do it, I'll do it. I'll send out a series and I'm gonna see this to the end. So that's when I got to thinking, all right, I'm gonna make a combat only. And at the time, my friends and I were really enjoying Nightmare. I enjoyed doing Nightmare on release on my main account. So I'm like, why not make an account dedicated to killing the Nightmare? Okay, that's a cool idea, but how can I make this account really unique so that people clicking on to the videos will see this account and think to themselves, wow, this account's insane. What are you doing? And then hopefully get hooked enough so that they'll continue watching the YouTube series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why don't I lock my defense as well? I've never made a defense locked account before, and I was sort of curious as to how that would change the progression path of a traditional combat only account. And that was that. I made the combat only, made it a UIM because I also wanted to play a UIM. It's like a triple restriction, right? You have Ultimate Iron Man at the base level, Jagex telling you can't use a bank on top of the other Iron Man restrictions. You have the combat only restriction, which is no skilling stats. And then I also have the 30 defense restriction, which is, of course, the defense requirement for the Nightmare armor set, which is what I ultimately ended up setting as the goal for the account.
Fantastic. I don't know if have you listened to, I know we talked about this before, but have you listened to like any of the other casts that I've done, like fully in depth by chance?
No, unfortunately. Just the most recent one that you did with Coach. The 20 to 25 minutes I watched. I see the red bar. It's about like a quarter of the ways through the video.
So in one of them, I don't remember how long ago this was. Somebody asked me how many accounts that I had ever created. I actually have a 30 defense Iron Man that I made before Nightmare came out.
Oh, cool.
It was a pipe dream because back in the day when curses came out, that was like the lowest defense you could have curses with, and that was a type of an account I've always liked.
Oh,
So
that's
like
cool.
I wanted to relive my dream, and then the armor came out, and I was like, well. Never got that
coincidence.
I never got that far on that account though.
Yeah, it's a tough road.
It sure is, honestly. So, aside from that, like, what kind of brought you into wanting to try the RuneScape 3 version?
Let's see. Well, the release of Necromancy, being a combat stat, was probably the catalyst, I guess you could say, of, well, telling me that, hey, RuneScape 3 exists. So I I was considering it for a long while, and I really wanted to have that account as like a subsidy, I guess you could say. Some videos to fill out the time between Inquisitor videos because, well, being at the end game of a Snowflake restricted account, it's a lot harder to get video clips, right? So the videos are farther and few between. Just looking at my recent freaking uploads, it's been a month since I've uploaded. So it's like, trust me, I'm not doing this on purpose. It's just the content, I got to get the content. I need the clips to make the videos. The editing, that's not the hard part, right? It's actually getting the content. So at the time when I made the account, Necromancy was new. It wasn't right when Necromancy released. I don't necessarily remember when I made the account. I think it was over last summer, I'm pretty sure. 2023 summer.
Mm-hmm.
I remember because I had to deal with a lot of air conditioning background noise and some audio clips, and that was very annoying. Thought it was really easy to deal with. It wasn't. Anyways,
Just
pains aside.
just life hack yourself into a basement room where it's central air, and then there is no noise, but it's always like 20 degrees colder than it is upstairs.
The basement where I was previously living and where I'm living now, no good. You can't live down there.
No good basement. I see. My like
Yeah,
ours is like fully built, so I'm good. But
gotcha.
I'm cold all the time.
Well, you are very fortunate. We
I
just had
I
like a heat wave this week.
I
It
am.
was wild.
I hate being hot.
Yeah.
Huge pet peeve of mine.
Okay. RS3. Yes. RS3 combat
Sorry.
only. Uh, I got the idea. We had Necromancy release, and that was, like I said, the catalyst. I have this idea of a RuneScape 3 account, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I'll make some videos on RuneScape 3, maybe see if there's another bit of an audience I can pull over from RS3, maybe start diversifying my channel a little bit. It's same game, effectively, same company, same idea. So RuneScape on a RuneScape channel, you'd sort of hope that, I'd do all right, but course, RuneScape. Old school players have a little bit of a. I don't want to use the word hatred, but I don't really like
Hatred.
RS3 that much.
Hatred's a good word, I think.
Yeah, it probably is at this point. um, yeah, effectively just trying to convert any form of viewers. My mind was sort of open to the idea of having a channel that had both old school and RuneScape 3 on it. So that's what I attempted to do. I had this idea and I brought it to one of my friends. I don't know if you know him. Overfletch. He made a melee only Iron Man, and he got an Elysian Spirit Shield.
I do know Overfletch. I am familiar with the work.
Yes. So I was chatting with Overfletch because he was also a big RS3 guy back in the day. A lot of his knowledge was from like prior years, though. So, we weren't too sure about how up to date it was, but I chatted with him about it, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you think the feasibility of this is? And could you help me think about what I could do on this account? Is it possible? All the little caveats you think of when you're making a unique type of account." And we spent a couple weeks, maybe a month, making a little spreadsheet, putting together the bosses that I could kill and quests I complete, and so on and so forth. And we go through that. I make the account the day that I'm feeling it, and then start recording clips and start playing the account. And boy, was there learning to do, because I think it was either episode 5 or episode 6 was the episode where I actually found out that you can lock your stats on RuneScape 3. So I'm going through the game in these early episodes like a little fresh baby off Tutorial Island, and this noob to RS3, and I don't know about a lot of these newer updates that came to the game. So that was that. Made the combat only, avoided skilling as much as possible, made some mistakes here and there, and then yeah, trained a lot.
Very cool. Very cool. So, basically, now I want to dive into your history with the game. So, when did you start playing? How did you start? How did you get into the beloved medieval clicking simulator that we all play today?
Oh man. Um, that is a great question because I don't even know what year this was. I have a budding memory. We moved many hours north of where we once lived, and I was introduced to the next door neighbors as a youngin, a child. I don't even know how old I was at this point. This is it wasn't classic, so we can write that off. But I went to the next door neighbors and we introduced ourselves and went inside. Was brought down into the basement and sat at a computer. And what do you know that was on the screen? It was RuneScape. Good old RuneScape. I remember I remember the old UI layout, the fixed client size. And I remember I was in Lumbridge, and I have a fond, or I guess a vivid memory, not a fond memory. I have a vivid memory of the neighbor that I once had telling me about the combat, and he said something around the lines of, "Oh, you just click to attack, and then you just watch your character fight the other person." And my young brain found this fascinating, and that was when I was first introduced to RuneScape. I don't necessarily know when made my own account. I don't necessarily remember that. Uh, though, I'm just trying to think here because I don't think I got into RuneScape immediately after that.
But that was your first like introduction to the game itself.
Yeah, that was the first time seeing it. Well, that's what I was thinking about. Miniclip. Old school RuneScape used to be on Miniclip, or I guess it was known as RuneScape at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember playing on a Miniclip too. I remember also playing it at school as well. So I did get into it some point back in. I think this was before RS2. I know that much, but I vividly remember playing in RS2. I remember the day summoning launched, but I think that might be getting ahead of where we're trying to guide the conversation right now. So
I
does
mean,
that answer your question?
yeah, any point is good. Absolutely, any point because I've said this before a few times, but like my earliest memory is the Hunter launch.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like 2006, I want to say, like late 2006. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. I'm old now, decrepit.
I wonder because I still do. My main account is actually the account that I used on RuneScape 3 back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if I could like log into the website and see how old the account is, maybe.
You can log into RS3 and talk to Hans.
Oh, maybe I'll do that real quick.
Yeah. So I mean
I'll
that
log
would
out onto
that would
there.
give you a very accurate day.
Yeah, true.
It would tell you which cape you also qualify for. Would it be the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20-year veteran cape?
I do have RuneScape 3 installed still, so I'll do that real quick. Why
Yeah.
not?
Scan his computer. You got RuneScape 3 installed. Scan it.
Uh,
So while you're looking that up, as far as what most people probably know you for, being the 30 defense Ultimate Iron Man, for those who have not watched the series and are just listening to you for the first time, what is like the big thing you are known for on that account?
on Inquisitor or
I
the
guess
main?
just in general, like your one of your biggest accomplishments that people would have known you for, in a sense.
Hmm.
Because believe it or not, there will be people who listen to this that probably have never watched your channel.
Oh
So
yeah,
so
for sure.
just as like an inviter, if they want to like go watch the whole series, like what can they look forward to?
Well, that's the thing because like I may have over like 10,000 subscribers, but I've been doing YouTube for a very, very long time. Like I started when I was in my early teens, and it's been well over 10 years now. So it's like I wasn't always a RuneScape channel. Uh, Inquisitor is probably what people would know me most for nowadays. But back in the days, my channel was actually Gary's Mod roleplay channel.
That's pretty cool.
Uh, yeah, I used to do Gmod RP, and that is the first, I guess you could call it a break that I got because my videos finally started getting recommended to the algorithm after like years of not being successful, I guess you could say. So my first few thousand subscribers finally came from breaking out into the roleplay space, but those videos have since been unlisted because I don't want to confuse the YouTube algorithm and, so on and so forth.
Absolutely. So like then for your RuneScape audience, what would most of the people know you for?
I'd probably be Inquisitor. Probably the first season of Inquisitor, because unbeknownst to a lot of people, actually, there is a season 2, and there has been season 2 going on for a while now.
The Lost Chapters.
Yeah, Lost Pages.
Lost Pages.
We
Oh my
got...
god. Honestly, cringe of me
hey,
did do my full research.
Close enough, honestly. Like the whole first season, I called them chapters instead of episodes because I wanted to sort of theme it like a storybook, and like each episode would be a chapter out of this book, and essentially the reading portion of said chapter is, in a sense, a bit of a summary of what happens in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fantastic. So on that account, your goal essentially was to get the full Inquisitor set, and for those who know, you have obtained the full Inquisitor set. But are you still missing anything from the collection log? It's been a while since I watched I think I'm like behind on a few episodes. So what are you missing from the nightmare itself?
Items that matter. The mace. The mace is the goal of season 2, to effectively complete the Inquisitor set, especially after the latest Project Rebalance update that happened to Old School, with the Inquisitor's set getting buffed around the Inquisitor's mace. I don't have a volatile or a harm, and those two are... the harm became useful after the Project Rebalance changes, because if I were to get a 4-tick Fire Wave, that would be better than my Sanguinesti staff, believe it or not. The Volatile is more or less just a fancy red orb to put in my staff. I imagine I'd probably use the spec at like Kraken, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't have a jar. So if we're talking about like green logging, those are the items that I'm missing from Nightmare.
Okay, fantastic. And is there any other... I know one thing you've done a lot of is elite clue scroll juggling.
Yep.
So have you gotten what you want from those, or are you still working on that?
Yes. So I believe it was the first 2 episodes of season 2. I was doing elite clue juggling at the time, doing a lot of barrows with the old timers, I have to add, because I would have to spend 10 minutes of each of my hour of UIM death piles to juggle all of these elite clues, and it would take me, on average, 2 minutes per death pile, because I have to pick nettles to kill myself on the Ultimate Iron Man, on the combat only. And the main goal from Elite Clues was the combat bracelet, because the combat bracelet is the best in slot hybrid gloves that a combat only can get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm on RuneScape 3. I'm talking to Hans. Since you arrived 6,241 days ago. So what? Divided by 365? 17 years ago?
That would have been 2004, 2007.
Woo! Damn, quick math. Yeah. Well, there you go. 2007 is when I started playing. Live discoveries here on the podcast.
Beautiful. World first.
I knew that, so I'd be very surprised if anyone in my audience knew that. So exclusive.
So did you get the combat bracelet?
Yes, I did. I also, along the way, while going for the combat bracelet, I got very lucky. I got the Fremenic Kilt, which is, of course, an item that all peers love and go for as it provides melee strength. It wasn't necessarily a god tier item for me because at the time I got it, I already had the Inquisitor's plate skirt, which of course is just better than the Fremenic Kilt.
Mm-hmm.
But later, before I got the bracelet, I managed to pull a Ranger's Tunic, which is another Peer's item, which is insane and coveted on pure Ironmen. And this was all in 6 KC, if I remember correctly. So I got both of the best Pure items on my restricted Ultimate Iron Man Pure, effectively, in 6 KC, and I imagine other Iron Man Pures want that RNG.
I'm sure one or two out there have suffered immensely to try and get the kilt or the Ranger's tunic. Immensely.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is that I could have lived without either of those items. You know, having the Ranger's tunic, I'll admit now, is very nice because I've used it frequently throughout my journey. But just getting both of those items before getting my best in slot gloves, just sort of the cherry on top, if you will.
So what is the current goal you're working on then? What is, besides, I know you said you're working towards the Inquisitor's mace, but I know there's other things you do that's not just that. So what is, like, besides the mace, what else are you working on the account?
Yeah, so aside from the mace, I do have various sub goals that I like to go for to sort of break up the nightmare grind because I'm sort of the type of person who I can't really stay in one place for an extended period of time. My brain will get just worn out and I'll start making mistakes, start dying a lot, and of course, dying at Fasani's is not a wonderful thing to do on a combat only, as it takes a very long time to get back there. So, I can just like list off some items if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so since I'm in the end game, aside from the mace, I want the imbued heart. It would enhance my sanguine SD staff, making it hit higher on the nightmare totems, therefore speeding up my Fasani kills, nightmare kill times, so on and so forth. That would be fantastic to help me along for the end game. I have the scythe. Now, it would be awesome to get one. I don't know if I'd use it charged, mainly because blood runes are extortionately expensive for my account. They're 658 coins per on average from the Arceus General Store, I believe it is. Raygath, if you're listening to this, I hate you. Lower your prices.
He's swindling
and
you.
Then, yeah, I've been swindled effectively, and it's the only blood rune shop I have access to, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I say that, but it's like if I didn't have access to that, I wouldn't have access to a blood rune store. So take it or leave it. It's better than nothing, in my opinion.
That is true. That is true. You could be suffering and have to, like, kill something for blood runes every single time you wanted them.
Yeah, I think one mutated Bloodvelds task will get me around 1,000 blood runes, and that's like 200 to 250 Bloodvelds. So, and that takes a couple hours to do. So it would not be fantastic to not have access to a blood rune shop. And I'll say I have had other items on the sub goals list, but they've since been completed, like the crossbow, the avarice. I had a very long wilderness grind, which we can get into later if you want. The last item is a usable chambers purple, which may or may not be changing with the next episode that's releasing soon. TM.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta catch up. As you can hear by some of my questions, I haven't finished my homework. I got sucked into some other stuff.
The 24th of June is when this video is going live. So I don't know when the podcast is going to go live, or
it's either going to go live tomorrow, the 23rd of June, or it'll go live next Sunday, depending on if the guy who I get my thumbnails from can get me a thumbnail today, Otherwise, it'll go like because I usually shoot for Sundays. That's usually like the day I've always done these on.
Yeah.
So if I gotta wait a week, I gotta wait a week. These used to be like every 2 weeks or so, but now it's kind of just whenever I feel like doing it. Whenever I get somebody I want to talk to.
Yeah. Times can be a little rough for finding guests, I imagine.
Yeah, especially because like I feel like I exhausted like the main list of people that I wanted to talk to initially, and like people like because you said you have 10,000 subscribers, right?
Yep.
So pretty much anybody at your channel and above are pretty difficult to get a hold of. I was surprised you
Yeah.
responded.
I'm surprised I didn't get your notification sooner.
How long did it take you to respond?
I think you sent it on a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I can just open the messages here and probably take a look. Uh, you sent it on May 30th, which, where are we? Yeah, it was a Thursday. And I received it on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I replied to you saying.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
June 2nd. Yeah, so it took 3 days for the notification to appear. I think I saw it on my phone or something. And I'm like, oh, a message. Who could this be from? I opened my DMs fairly recently, and I'm just like, well, if some people need to DM me, maybe I'll see. If I get spam bots, I'll disable it. But then you sent me a message, and I got the notification after a while, and now we're here.
Here we are after a setback or two. We will
Yeah,
not. We
stuff
will.
happens.
We will not dive into that.
Like I said, stuff happens.
So you talked about the wilderness grind you went on. So for those who are not aware of Ultimate Iron Man gameplay, which I assume most people who are watching this probably are, because that's what I also play. That is, I actually met a lot of people who don't know that Ultimates like we drop everything. Like you don't get
Yeah.
to keep three no matter what. You drop everything.
Yeah, no protect item either.
Yeah. So, what was the wilderness grind like for you, and how painful was it to death pile every 50 minutes when you wanted to do stuff?
Oh, it was an experience. Uh, I think I spent around half a year. Now, of course, this isn't necessarily like I'm on the game 12 hours a day, constantly death piling, constantly doing revs. But there were a few days where, I play for a good, 8 hours throughout this 6 month period. And it's the whole death pile, pick up the stuff that you need to kill the Revenant Knight, go kill the Revenant Knight, pray you get the item eventually. And eventually I got the item. That was a wild grind to go on, if I do say so myself.
Was there any point where you were like, I don't want to do this anymore, and you thought about just getting rid of that goal?
There were plenty of times where I said to myself, oh my god, this is terrible. I'm going to quit this. I don't want to do this anymore. But I want the item. So that just kept pushing me forward. And after a certain period of time, it sort of became like an inside joke in my head. It's like, all right, let's see how far I can push this going dry. Because I went over rate at nights on task during doing Turiel skipping to attempt to get the Revenant's task from Krystilia. That was interesting. Not as bad as actually being in the wilderness for 6 months. It wasn't just Revenants that I killed. I managed to get into Artio's lair and do a duo method with my main account, where it took a lot more of the damage compared to Inquisitor. But I managed to get my claws that way before it was locked because, botting prevention measures. Jagex loves those. So it now requires, I think, medium wilderness diary, and of course, combat only accounts can't complete that.
Mm-hmm.
So with ample, with time, a race against the clock, a race against Jagex locking the boss away. I pounded away at RTO, died a few times. It is what it is, but eventually got the drop I wanted, and honestly, at the end of the day, it probably wasn't worth it because the Ursine chain mace is only really I think it's one crush accuracy better than the cudgel, and I think it's 4 melee strength better than the cudgel. And the cudgel was my previous weapon I used to kill Fasani's Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
So effectively, if you think about it one way, that's like 6 months to get a weapon upgrade of 1 crush accuracy and 4 melee strength. And well, at least I got another weapon too. Uh, I don't. Do I want to spoil it? Like,
It's up to you. I won't pressure you.
well, it's been in videos for a while now. I just don't know where you're at, or if people want to actually hop in from the podcast if they want more spoilers. But I did get another wilderness weapon, and let's just say it was a great upgrade for.
I think you said earlier
what I'm
you
currently
got a
doing.
crossbow.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
Yeah, I think you said that earlier.
Yep. Oh, okay. Well, oopsies. You guys should have turned off your ears for a second.
No, turn off.
Yeah,
That's totally
well,
fine. Like I said, like I am behind. I plan to continue. But like I said, I get sucked into. I'm an avid YouTube enjoyer. I watch like exclusively YouTube for like most entertainment purposes or movies.
that's great to hear. I look forward to hearing what you think of the future videos.
I will. And I for reference as well, if you were curious, I have been watching probably since like episode 2 or 3.
Like, since when it was like first uploaded?
Yeah.
Damn, long time viewer. Hell yeah.
Yeah, during like that like renaissance of like all the snowflake YouTube and stuff, I was like subscribed to everybody.
Hell yeah. That's what you love to hear.
Well, it's like another small channel. I always like really enjoyed watching other like smaller creators, especially like people who started to explode. Like when like Limpwort started to explode. I remember when like his first episode came out.
Yeah.
And then just boom.
Yeah, the 99 defense in Lumbridge on men
Yep.
and women.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
We don't talk about the genocide of Lumbridge.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Maybe.
That poor city.
Yeah. Poor Lumbridge. Look, I will say, I guess before we move on, Kraz has been really good. It replaced the magic short bow imbued for me, which it's a baggable item because, of course, you can uncharge the Kraz and it becomes baggable.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the amount of time I spent at Revs, I have an extreme abundance of Rev Ether, so I don't think I'll run out anytime soon. In fact, probably not even before the account Season 2 meets its end, you know?
That being said, is there a season 3 plan? Is there a next step for you? Is like when you quote unquote finish, what is the plan? Do you have any plans? Do you have any plans for another series besides like the RS3 one you did? Or do you have anything in the works that you want to like hint at? Or is this kind of like you're not focused on that? You're kind of just like I'm taking it like as it goes.
You know, Inquisitor's an account that I've really come to enjoy playing, and it's just sort of the way that I know how to play the game now. I'm not going to say anything for sure right now because who knows what life holds in the future. But I do have preliminary plans to continue playing the account in some way, shape, or form. That's what I will say. Because I do love the account, and I've spent years on it, gathering all this unique equipment, unique gear. Why not see how far it can go, right?
Absolutely. So there's no plans for a Varlamore locked Iron Man?
I'll leave that to perhaps some newer creators.
I just love when like something like new like that gets released, something big. You always see like an influx of a few different people doing those kind of accounts. It's always very interesting to me.
It's funny you mention that because my duo partner in Chambers is actually a Zaya locked hardcore Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he got access to Varlamore, which is very cool.
I did a Zaya locked a long time, like before the first leagues came out. And yeah, I did that once. I didn't like the area lock, the chunk locked things. That wasn't for me as far as like playing.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I like to like free roam, but have like a restriction on my build in a sense.
You see, I like the combat only style of play because it is a restriction on the stats. And I like how you can look someone up and immediately see that they're following the restriction that they've set out for themselves. I think that's just a great way to do a restricted type of account. And I've enjoyed playing this way. So, it's it's effectively a win-win on the front of I'm enjoying myself playing this account, but also if at any point in time people want to look up Inquisitor, they can see that, oh, yep, he's still within the bounds of his restriction. He's still level 1 Herblore and still 30 defense. Cool.
Yeah, I guess the same idea goes for me too, because people can visually see if I ever make the mistake in the account. They can be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he buried a bone. He spread those abyssal ashes from Guardians of the Rift. He's got 2 prayer now."
Oh, yeah, that was a classic. Holy. Do you know how many people ruined their accounts that way?
Oh my god, I don't know, but I'm sure it was. I have a few friends, or a few not friends, but like one friend and a few people who were in the same clan as me who I know did it.
Yeah.
I am very, very careful when it comes to things like that. I don't do anything on release on my account.
Understandable. Totally understandable.
I wait probably like 2 or 3 months. So like when sailing comes out, my sailing level will stay 1.
Yeah.
Until I know exactly how I'm going to do it. Because I'm afraid.
Too.
But what if sailing's a combat skill? Think about it.
Well, I'll be staying 1 forever, but at least we'll be the same level for like a period of time, right?
Yeah, probably a good period of time. Like goal is maxing as a level 3 before sailing comes out. I don't even know if I'll do that.
Ah, gotcha.
Because I've been doing like post XP stuff. Haven't really been doing a whole lot of like actual working towards that. Aside from like, I've recorded a few clips of me hitting like 20 mil mining recently.
Oh, right on.
And that's pretty. I've been kind of just AFKing stars since I finished 200 mil fire making.
I love AFKing. AFKing's so good.
And at first it was just like a temporary thing while I was doing other things. And then I was like, I don't want to do crafting the way that I'm supposed to because it looks awful. So at this point, it's kind of like, so the method for me is like finish 99 construction, use the player owned house, teleport on Brimhaven, buy supplies from the charter ships for crafting.
Yep.
Teleport to the Ardo Monastery, use the furnace, repeat.
All right.
So I think it's like 46k an hour. So like it's not
bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I've heard about this new method, the cranes method or something. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, so that's the other way I would do it, but I would have to go to Temperos first and stack a bunch of normal planks.
Ah, gotcha.
Or I have to like go make a bunch as well, because I can't obviously like I can't go into like Berg de Rot, not Berg de Rot, like the Shades of Morton place and get them. I can't go to that store and buy them, so I'd have to like source them from another location, basically.
Yeah, I'm also locked out of Berg de Rot, so I know the feeling, but for different reasons.
Yeah. So different. Well, I can't even get into Canifis. I mean, not Canifis. Mauritania as a whole.
Oh yeah, prayer. Duh.
Yeah, I'm stuck on it. Yeah, it's one of those things that like sometimes you just don't think about it. I've had people ask me like why I don't do certain things, and I'm just like, one time somebody was like, "Why don't you use like the Port Phasmatis herb patch?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that it's funny you mention that because in the past I've had people tell me the more they look at my account, the sort of wilder it gets because I'll be at like Tob, for example, and be waiting for my team. People be like, "Oh, yo, sick account," and then I'll reply, be like, "Oh, thanks," and I'll be like, "Oh shit, you're a UIM?
Same thing.
What?" And okay, yep, thanks again. And then they're like, "Wait, how do you get potions?" Because they see I'm one herblore. Then I have to explain. Well, I take a little run to the Warriors Guild, a little teleport with my strength cape, buy my attack and strength potions, buy my cheesy potatoes, and here I am ready to do the raid. And they're just like, "What the hell? What do you?" What?
I get the same thing.
It it's the
I
funniest thing. It
pe- people can't
gets me
fathom
every
it.
time.
Yeah, people can't fathom it.
Yep.
They're like your mental instability is showing, and I'm like, well, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
So moving forward from all of that stuff, we are kind of getting close to nearing the not the end per se, because of course, depending on the question, it takes time. But like the final few questions that I have in my head for, so obviously, like I said, for the viewers, I bought a new computer. Forgot to put my podcast questions somewhere, so I've lost them. But I think I
Rough.
remembered most of them. That being said, do you have any questions for me at all, or any questions like in the broader spectrum, aside from just you and your account?
Hmm. How far are you on your GIM right now with your IRL buddy?
Oh, I literally only play it when he's on. So
Oh,
like
smart.
pretty rare. I'm like not very far at all. I think
Gotcha.
I think all of us are doing like different things. So like he is just kind of fucking off and like doing free to play quests right now. And
Yeah.
then my other friend right now, him and I are working on Graceful. So I did like 40 agility and I've done 30 to 50 at the Varrock course and then 50 to 60 at the Falldar course on many, many, many accounts who did not have access to the Canifis course. So
Yeah.
now I am trying to stay 10 HP for now. So of course, I hate myself, and I'm going to do the Wintertod route. That's what I've been elected to do to get magic logs. Either that or the Hunter Rumors. I haven't decided yet. And so like just a few quests done, 40 agility, just some basic stuff. Nothing too exciting. Cause like it's fun
Yeah.
to like sit in Discord with him and like have him ask the questions or like how do I get this? And like we have to like show him the group storage and all that stuff. And so it's been
Yeah.
it hasn't been like many hours at all, but like the night we all made it, it was like a really goofy fun time.
Gotcha. That's good to hear. I think that's what really matters most is fun. As long as you're having fun on the game, that's really what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I mean, eventually it'll be nice to have an account that like can do bossing, because right now my main could theoretically, but I don't have any money.
Ah.
I'm poor in RSGP, except for like on my account. I spoiler for my newest video coming out, whenever it's done. I don't put timelines on myself anymore. I did finally finish the feud on a level 3, which is like not easy to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's two bandits you gotta kill, two bandit chieftains or something, right?
Yeah, and one of them
Correct.
can max hit 10.
Ah.
But I already had I think a year ago I made like 700 brews.
Oh, damn.
So I just had brews sitting around, but like, and then Poison Dynamite came out, made it easier. Recoils and Magpie Implinks came out, made it easier.
That's hella nice.
So yeah, it was basically impossible before those two updates.
Makes sense to me, yeah. Do you enjoy the dynamite, the poison dynamite?
No,
Is that a good change? No. Could you elaborate?
it's just like in the beginning it was supposed to scale with your fire making level,
Yeah.
and the damage does, but it's still but it scales based off of your like attack accuracy. So like
Ah,
I still have to go craft like level 1 range like leather armor anytime I want to go do it. I have to like go to the hand members, go get cowhide,
oh
craft
my
everything,
god.
and then I have to go
Uh,
make the dynamite,
yep, UIM, classic.
and then I have to like get the brews out of my bag, or if I actually don't even know if I have them in there anymore. I think I might have dropped them all. So I think the
Oh my
feud was
god.
like the only thing I no I do. I still have 155. We're good. So sorry, I didn't make
Damn.
700. I make 300. But
Gotcha.
that's how many attempts it took me. I probably went through 300 dynamite and like 6 months of planting belladonna seeds to get to even
Damn.
to first unlock unlimited cave nightshade from the watchtower quest, like midway through that quest where you get the scaven map.
Yep, yep.
So that took literally 6 months. Same
Oh
day,
my god.
within 2 inventories, I killed the feud guys. When the whole
Oh
time
my.
the whole time it took me like I didn't have to go do that method. I just had the nightshade in my inventory from planting it.
There you go.
But
Hell yeah.
now but now it's unlocked forever whenever I want to go do that. Because the plan will eventually be to get broad arrows because from Slayer, and I cannot be asked to do mithril and steel arrows for 200 mil fletching because that's like
Yeah.
an extra like 40 or 50 mil arrows.
Gotcha.
So you know.
Yeah, I guess that is the one overlap that we do have, and that's the Slayer skill, which is sort of wild.
Yeah, I've only ever lamped, and I'm at 59.
Wow.
But I'll be doing like how you ever watch JCW's video on how he did it?
I've seen a few of his videos, yeah.
Have you seen the
I
one
don't
where
know if I saw.
where he does like the Slayer method for level 3s?
If I did, I don't remember it.
So if you ever watch it or anybody who has watched it, that's my plan for getting. I only need 300 points. I do not want to get Slayer rings. I have no reason to have them. I'm not a clue scroll person. Um, Earlier when I said I was doing clues, that was my RS3 guy doing clues.
Gotcha.
I'm not an old school RuneScape clue scroll person because the amount of ones I have to drop on the level 3 is just not fun.
Ooh, I love clues. Clues are great.
Well, RS3 is stackable clues, so I like that.
Yeah, that's even better.
I love that. And it's capped, so it's like take notes, Jagex. Everybody's saying stackable clues bad, and then they made them stand their ground for an hour. So like, what do you want from me?
It's effectively the same thing.
Just more
more
work.
tedious. Yeah.
It's stackable
I mean,
clues, but with more steps.
Hey, see what you did there. Uh, I think the way that they implemented it, I am fine with the way that they implemented it, but they implemented it that way because it's considered effectively a quality of life rather than having to go through the polling system.
Yeah.
So while I think the sentiment around stackable clues is sort of changing constantly in the old school community, especially after you have leagues occur, you see the sentiment sort of spike up again, like, why don't we have stackable clues already? Well, this is just like, I guess, the stopgap point for now. And, it's changed the way that I play Inquisitor, so they succeeded on some form, on some point. I'm now a clue guy. Crazy.
Yeah. I suppose if I like wanted to get something from clues, like I think one of my like most interesting achievements is I have a hard clue completion on this account.
Yeah.
And I didn't juggle. I just got very lucky with all 6 steps.
Oh, gotcha.
It was like actually kind of crazy. I didn't get any collection logs though, which was sad.
Aw, that is sad.
Imagine third age.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's the only reason why I'm still doing hard clues, to be entirely honest.
That's fair. Because isn't like third age magic your best?
Yep. Third Age Mage is the best in the slot armor that I can use for Mage.
Yo, that's gonna be season 3.
Oh, God. I'll be playing the game for the next 10 years or more.
Listen. Nothing wrong with that.
I do want to ask you. I mentioned Slayer being the overlap skill that we have. But how do you feel about skillers being able to train Slayer when it's effectively a combat skill?
I mean, the way you do it is just so like tedious. It's never going to be considered like an actual requirement for level 3s to like max, because it's just any skill you require in alt. Like I could do poison dynamite for the entirety of Slayer, but that would make it even slower probably than doing the old museum method, which was about 2k an hour.
Ooh, more painful.
There was one guy who did that,
I remember hearing that through the grapevine. Yep.
and then he got hacked and they ruined his account.
Oh, the worst. The actual worst.
Um, but I guess I don't care. That doesn't bother me. For me, it's not like even at 59, like people will look at my account and they'll see 59. They won't even see 200 mil fire making. They won't see 42 mil rune crafting. They'll see 59 Slayer and be like, "How'd you do Slayer on a level 3?"
Yeah, I guess it's cool on that front.
Yeah,
When I think about it, like it is cool on that front. Like a level 3, no combats. You have your Slayer level up, and it's just like what?
maybe one day if I ever want like extreme AFK, I'll because it is roughly like 6,800 to 7,000 hours to do at the museum.
Wild.
Yeah. So as somebody who plays like an average of like 1,000 hours a year, for me
Mhm.
that would take a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't think I'd ever do 99. You know, knock on wood. Maybe one day if I'm ever like super bored and I'm just like don't know what to do, I may just go knock out like a few hours here and there, and one day it'll add up, and maybe one day they'll give us a way to do it, just like I don't know. I'm sure one day there will be a way for level 3s to get like 10 to 15k an hour without having to kill anything.
That'd be interesting. I wonder if Slayer is included on the account builds for skillers on the old school RuneScape high scores.
Correct.
I wonder if they'd ever add 807s to that. That'd be interesting.
I don't. The way they rolled out the level 3 high scores and stuff like that, it was just so janky. Because it's not even. I don't know. Do you remember what happened when it happened?
Didn't the whole high scores just like take a brick?
I don't remember that
Or
part, but I remember it wasn't who actually got the 200 mils first. It was whoever logged in first.
ooh, yeah, that's not optimal.
No, and they haven't fixed it. So it's like
Oh my god.
none of the ranks are actually real in like the top pages
Yo,
for
you're
like 200 mils.
holy, you're right. Huh.
So
That
it,
is crazy.
yeah, it's just like it was one of those things. Like in theory, it would have been cool if it was like done properly, but it was. I think it was done improperly, and I don't think they're ever planning to fix it. So
Yeah, if it was executed correctly on that front.
yeah, so most level 3s we just look at temple for all of our stuff.
Gotcha.
That
Yeah.
that's the wave. We are ooh EHP losers. I just hit 2,000 EHP. Whoa! Again,
Congrats.
again.
Again.
They do updates, and
Yeah.
I lost a bunch the other couple months, like a month or two ago.
Oh yeah, because I imagine they redo their EHP rates and all that when new methods drop and all that.
Yeah,
I was gonna
unfortunately,
say, I imagine your time is probably better spent. Are you're hunting 200 mils, right?
that's correct.
Yeah, so I imagine your time is probably better spent hunting the 200 mils that you know you can get better XP an hour for, rather than lamping Slayer.
Correct. So like, if I finish 200 mil all, which is like a 12-year grind,
Yeah.
just due to the farm runs and like the herbs you have to gather. I mean, I'm sure the Varlamore herb Todd will change that.
Yeah.
Things always change. Like, I actually just remembered this is my first time doing the agility course since they reworked it.
Mhm.
So I wonder what kind of XP rates I'm getting. I'll check at the end of the cast. But yeah, so like everything gets faster, right? Before Guardians of
Naturally.
the Rift, I had to do the RCS library
Ooh,
for
we
77 rune
love the
crafting.
Arceus library.
I
Yep.
didn't. I actually like that was the first time I ever like quit this account. I started this account as like a trophy account, and then I quit it at like 54 rune crafting, and
Oh
then
my god.
I came back and I was like, I'm just gonna finish it, and so I did.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a few other things like I guess like one thing because you know how they remove favor.
yep.
I got
I
a
love
question.
that.
I got a quick question for you on that. Do you have
Sure.
anything on your account besides you? Because you mentioned the Closet Callista, right? Because like, so your account build could not ever get that again.
Correct. Well, I can't go to Artio again. I could technically do Callisto for Claws, but
Oh,
of
got
course there's
you.
multi. Big pain. But yeah, the demi bosses are now forever locked from combat only accounts.
So, is there anything on your account that you did in the beginning that theoretically could never be done again? Like your account, like there's something on, like an item you have or something of that nature that you could not get again.
Hmm.
Because I know there are people like that who have accounts like that, and like the reason I ask is when you mentioned that earlier, I wanted to bring it up then, but we were still going something else. Is because level threes cannot get all the graceful colors anymore from Zaya.
Oh. Yeah,
They can't get red or white anymore,
that's wild.
and I just so happen to have both, which is
There you
nice.
go.
So it's nice to like have something that like I'll never see like any new level threes will be able to get it due to how those colors were changed and the rework was done.
Yeah. Uh, I would say I would have had, but I the J mods heard us out and adjusted the proposal for the Corrend adjustments. So they did a live stream, which was very funny that week, and they're addressing the concerns of the Corrend changes. Obviously, the favor removal. They were going to lock the shamans behind a quest. I think
Oh, I
I could
remember.
be
I remember watching your
mistaken.
video on that. I think.
Yeah. So I made a video. I think it was I forget the title. It was something like Jagex is doing this again or something, or I don't know. It's been a while, but they were going to be locking 807s out of the Dragon Warhammer, and they were also locking us out of the Arceus spellbook. Now we use the Arceus spellbook for the teleports. Those are pretty important, I'll say, because there are quick teleport to the Slayer Tower. They are well, it's the teleport I use. I teleport to Frankenstein's castle to run east and take the boatman to go to A Fasani or B Tob. So the spellbook is pretty fairly used on the accounts. Oh, and while you're training, of course, you have the ensouled heads that you can do for massive prayer XP.
Yep.
So losing access to the prayer book that was a very daunting proposition for us. So obviously, I had to make a video, be like, look, I am completely fine, and this is still my opinion to this day. I am completely fine if we don't get access to any new content in the future. As long as the status quo can be maintained without, I guess, breaking like integrity of the game, which is why I sort of like understand LMS being locked behind the requirements they added there because bots are very bad there, and I hear they're still very bad there.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, Jagex seems to hold this same sentiment that look, they have access to it at the moment. If this change would make them lose access to it, it's probably not a change we should make. And then they adjusted the proposal. Shamans can now be killed without any requirements, which is really nice. So 807s can still kill shamans. They decided, I forget what they did with the Arceus spellbook, but we still have access to that, thankfully. I think they removed the quest requirement or something, which is nice. And then a byproduct of them removing the Architectural Alliance mini quest, we actually unlocked a teleport on the Xerix Talisman, the Xerix Heart teleport. which, of course, that spell in itself is on the normal spell book. But it being on the amulet, not too big of a deal, but it's very nice.
Yeah, that's true. But I think the funniest part about that change was I had done that Architectural Alliance so long ago to like have that teleport too. How sad.
Hey, I'm happy it's gone. I got an extra teleport on my amulet.
I got a free 10k XP lamp. So
Oh,
think about
there you
that.
go.
Think about it.
I'm quote unquote maxed, so I don't need any XP anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't argue that at all, actually.
Yeah, and well, obviously you're grinding for 200 mils, right? You're doing 200 mils on the skiller, and I think that's where our like interests sort of, I guess, diverge in a manner of speaking. Because in my eyes, once I hit 99, I'm done the skill. And I'm sure people feel the same. People also feel different about that. I know I have a very specific friend who is also going for like 200 mils, McKinnon, and he is like very, very steadfast about. He's like, "Yep, if I get XP, well, I'm gonna get it." I'm like, fair enough, fair enough.
Remember, 99 is just the beginning.
No, it's the end.
That's when you start getting the best XP rates.
No, that's the number still goes up, but the number does not change from 99. So in my eyes, it's done, dusted, complete.
But the number on the high scores doesn't change. I will always be the rank 54 UIM fire making 200 mil getter. Always.
You know what? That is a point. I'll give you that, all right? But I'm just gonna go kill monsters and bump up my high scores that way, and then I'll kill more of the monsters if people threaten my rank.
And see, everybody loves a good rank.
Yeah.
It's nice to like look at a high score and see your name there and be like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I know. Early on when I was killing Fasani, and when I first started this account and was first starting to kill Fasani, I kid you not, there were less than 25 Ultimate Iron Men who had been ranked on the high scores for it.
I believe that.
So I was on there early, and of course I've taken breaks over time for sub goals and so on and so forth. But I think I guess I can just look myself up right now. But I've remained on page 1. I'm pretty sure the whole time that I've had this account.
And you will never leave page 1.
Well, we'll see about that. I don't plan to, but
maybe one day.
I am rank 3 for normal nightmare, and I am rank 16 for Fasani's nightmare.
That just goes to show you how much people hate the regular nightmare.
Yeah, which is why I sort of attempted to make I think my latest video, aside from the new Inquisitor one coming out, was about the Inquisitor's armor and how I personally think that the changes that they made is just going to be like a temporary bump in people killing Fasani. I really hope it isn't, because I think Fasani's Nightmare is a really good boss fight. I do think it is one of the best. I like it the most. Obviously, why would I have an account centered around a boss fight I hate?
That's true. For fun.
For funsies, because I like causing pain to myself, apparently.
For the depreciation of your own mental health, that's why.
Yeah, as one does.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're all a little self-destructive, aren't we?
Yeah. Some of us like to restrict ourselves stats-wise. Some of us like to restrict ourselves to areas, and some others like to kill other people, PKing in the wilderness.
Good clarification. Good clarification.
Thought I'd lay that one on.
So we'll move a little away from RuneScape for a minute here. So, well, kind of, I guess, in like halfway. We'll take a step out the door. So as far as like the fact that you do YouTube, the fact that you are playing the game, I don't know how much you play. You can probably get into that if you want to. But how do you balance your desire to play the game with your real life obligations, such as work, family relationships, staying healthy, all those kind of things?
That's a good question.
I've had people tell me they don't.
Yeah, I mean, I play the game pretty much every day. We'll start with that. I do pretty much play every day, but it's one of those things that I'm not going to force myself to play the game if I don't feel like playing the game. I think that is the absolute worst behavior you can do to yourself, as that will cause burnout or even more burnout if you are in that state currently. It will furthermore tank your opinion of the game. That burnout. I'm coming back to that burnout because it matters a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
People will just begin to resent the game if they're forcing themselves to play it. Pardon these voice cracks. I need to like drink water.
Drink it.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. It's
Pardon
important.
me. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That goes for
I'm
everybody
good.
listening too.
Yes, drink water. It's good. But yes, I don't force myself to play the game. I don't think anyone should. If you're in a state of saying, "What do I do on the game?" you should probably just log out and go play something else or go outside, go for a run, uh, do something effective with your time, like video editing. Uh, I don't know, work, etc., etc. I will say that my current like life situation is I'm very lucky to be in a spot that I currently am. I've finished all of my college education. I did 6 years of college over 3 different courses. Um, I did 3 years of animation and game design, graduated. I did 2 years of computer system technician. Uh, although 2 years of that graduated, and then I also took a remote financial technology certificate back when financial technology was starting to pop off. But I'm I've spent the last year after graduation just helping my mom renovate this house that we moved to. I know we spoke a little before we started the podcast, and I mentioned moving.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so finished college education. We moved to here. We fixed up the house over the past like 10 months, and selling it again, and then gonna move again. And I haven't had to work, which is I'm put in one of those situations where it's very good, so I can effectively do whatever I want with my time. Aside from having to help renovate, take a couple hours or a few hours out of my day, whether I have to do painting or mixing cement or fixing up the deck or
So you still
so
have
on
to
and so
work,
forth. Yeah, I do have to do stuff.
just not
Like I'm
in
not
in
just
a traditional way.
yeah, not traditionally like leaving the house or like going to some job position where I'm making money. Like if I'm honest, like my monthly paycheck from YouTube, which thank you to everyone watching, uh, and everyone, all of my members. And the monthly paychecks from YouTube are just enough to cover my phone bill and help me get by and contribute as much as my mom will allow me. I've offered several times to pay rent, but of course, just one of those parents where it's like, nope, I will not allow you to do this. So very fortunate to be in this position. Shout out to mom,
Shout
best
out,
mom.
shout out, mom, on that one. Any special gentlemen or ladies in your life?
No, I'll be honest, I have not dated in years, and I think I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm just so happy with the way my life currently is. Like, if I were to describe my perfect life, it's what I'm doing right now. I'm effectively living the life. I'm editing when I want to, when I have to, when I want to get out videos. I wake up, have my coffee, do a little gaming, do some video editing, watch some YouTube videos if I want, so on and so forth, catching up on the game catalog. It's all that. Doing YouTube, having fun, playing games with IRLs. It's great.
Wonderful. And that was a fantastic. You segued me right into my next question. That was, do you play any other games besides RuneScape? And if you do, which I sounds like you do, what type of games do you play, and what have you been into recently?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yes, I do play other games, and that is going back to the whole thing from earlier is burnout and RuneScape, and to people who only play RuneScape and they don't know what to do, play other games. There's so many good indies out there. There's so many other great games that you can dive into, especially older games that are on sale that you can get very cheap nowadays. Um, let's see. I finished Dredge last night. That's a really, really good indie eldritch horror, like it's a fishing game. You're on this fishing boat and you go out, you fish up the fish. You got to make your living wages, but there's a chance you can pull up some odd fish, aberrations, and well, the townspeople find this very interesting, and you're essentially just following the story of, well, you're collecting how Cthulhu, I think it's like that eldritch horror type theme.
Love a good
That game was a
Cthulhu.
lot of fun. Yeah. You know what? Let me just pull up my Steam right now because I have other games like Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh, great
Was
game.
big into playing that with my IRLs from college. Uh, Cyberpunk. I recently finished a playthrough of the new DLC they released. I
Meh.
think Cyberpunk is a fantastic game now. The launch was abhorrent, but I'm
Well,
very glad. Go ahead.
I haven't looked into it since the launch. So
Yes, so the launch was abhorrent. It was very bad, very, very bad, and I'm very glad that I did not pick up this game until 2 years later. Released in 2022, right?
your time is relative, man. I don't even pay attention to it anymore.
Never mind. Released in 2020. Hey, look, thing that happened in 2020, it's like 2 years didn't happen. Anyways, got Cyberpunk for like half price, and then I bought the DLC with it, so it came out to like $70-$80. So effectively still paying for the full game plus DLC. But honestly, I truly feel like I got my money's worth. They did a fantastic job fixing it up, and I do think that warrants a little bit of appreciation. What do we got? Ghost of Tsushima I picked up recently. I gotta play more of that. I've only played 5 hours. I've got distracted. I had a video to edit, so on and so forth. Elden Ring. I recently hopped
Great
on
game.
that for, a little bit. I played Enshrouded back in February, back when it launched. Got some time into that. Survival Crafter. Don't know what else I can say about that, but sort of like a Valheim, but you have like skill trees, and it's a little bit more advanced on that front. And Valheim too, in the past, still need to go back for the newest update.
Any
So
Ark
I do have
Survival
like
Evolved?
no.
Why'd you say it like that? What do you mean by that?
Let me see. I'm okay. I'm thinking of the right game. Yes, I am. It's in my library, but I've heard that it runs like absolute garbage. Am I wrong in this hearing?
Yeah, if you played it like 5 years ago.
All right. Well, it's in my library. Maybe I should hit it up. I'm not as into like the whole survival thing as much as I used to be. I really like linear story type games. But hey, as long as the story's good, I'm playing that shit.
The Ark story is fantastic, and there is an end. There is an ending to the game.
Wait, there's a story for Ark?
Oh my god! Of course, there's a story for Ark.
All I remember about Ark in the past is like watching people play these like survival, actually crafting and building and like catching dinosaurs and stuff, and like that side of things rather than like an actual story.
Well,
So maybe I watched it like back in alpha or something.
That's what. Well, so you have to craft, survive, build, catch dinosaurs, and then you use the dinosaurs to go kill things and progress the story. You go into like caves and you get artifacts and shit. And you get to do like big boss fights and shit with your army of Tyrannosaurus Rexes. It's crazy.
That sounds wild, but
It is.
and I hate to put the butt there, but dinosaurs aren't really my thing.
I actually have to go. My mom just called me.
Oh, Oh, okay.
No, I was fucking with you. I love dinosaurs.
God damn it, man. You got me. Oh, wait, what do you mean? Bro, don't leave me hanging.
No,
Yeah,
I
I'm sorry, but it's just like it's one of those things that it's never really clicked with me. I don't know. Everyone has their like preferences, right?
that's true. I just I don't know. I went to the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago. I saw the world's most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton. It was nuts.
That sounds badass.
It wouldn't be for you because you don't care.
Probably.
You're actually
I
just a
mean,
hater now in my eyes.
look. When I was back in animation and game design, we actually went to a local preservation for prehistoric bones and stuff.
Ooh, that's really cool.
So yeah, I did. Seeing it in real life is cool, but games based around it's not really my forte. Like that's what I will say on that front.
That's fair. All right, I'm done giving you shit about dinosaurs now.
Okay, cool.
I,
I've also played Hades. Hades is a great game.
I want to.
It's a really good roguelite. Let me see. Do I have any uninstalled games? Because once I play the games, I uninstall them and effectively stop playing. Because obviously, computer space is hard to come by nowadays.
Yeah, I pretty much only have RuneScape and Counter Strike installed.
Ooh, okay. I'll list a few off.
Okay,
Borderlands 2
great
was
game.
very good. Back when I played it in 2019. Crazy, time flies. All right, do you want to keep this like more recent games? Because like,
Yeah, I
I
guess
can just.
yeah. It more recent as to like. I mean, if you've got a game that you enjoyed that you wanted to shout out, go crazy.
Okay, cool. Borderlands 3 was all right. Back into like, I really liked the gameplay mechanics of that game more so than the story.
Yeah, I
I
heard the
don't
story was
think it could
bad.
have beaten. Yeah, I don't think it could have beaten the story of Borderlands 2. Da, da, da.
I never played the pre-sequel or 3. I just heard they were super mid.
I can't really comment on the pre-sequel. I have it purchased, but I didn't really play too much into it. But Borderlands 3, yeah, the story was mid, I'd have to say. I just like the systems in 3 more than 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was an improvement. Like the movement system in 3 is better.
Okay.
Darkest Dungeon, good old classic dungeon crawling, hardcore roguelike. Oh,
Still haven't
good,
played that. My friends just started playing it, so maybe I will.
good game. Death Stranding, got a solid 74 hours in that.
Have that on
Really enjoyed
PS5.
that game. Yeah, I like the weird niche, more story-oriented things. Like I said, story previously, but if you got like a weird, I guess, otherworldly type of niche thing, then I'm probably gonna be into that. Sci-fi, I'm a big fan of.
So you probably like the Outer Wilds then, right?
I have to play that one.
Did you
I
play
do have it.
Did you play Prey?
I gotta play Prey.
Oh my god.
I remember playing the beta back when I had a PS4 before I sold it, but then I just never got the game when it like fully launched.
I
I think
respect
I
that.
got like jump scared, and I'm like, nope. Horror is something that I don't do well. I will add, which is very ironic for some of the games I play, because I've been hopping into Lethal Company with some of my IRLs recently. It's now our go-to game,
Oh, I love Lethal
and
Company.
it's a horror game, right? But
Basically,
it is less of a horror game when you're playing with 5 other doofuses with mods.
that is true. Yeah, it's like horror, but like at the same time, it's like so funny.
Yep. Especially with some of the mods that we have, it can get so funny sometimes. I guess we'll just like speed round it.
Okay,
I guess.
I'll shut up
Dying
then.
Light. Dying Light had really good parkour. Really enjoyed that. Let's keep going. Far, Changing Tides and Lone Sails, shorter linear story games. They're just cutesy, honestly. Cute little linear story games I enjoyed. We have Ghostwire Tokyo. I 100%ed this game before they released the new update, and then after they released the new update, there's an achievement I really didn't want to get. So I 98%ed Ghostwire Tokyo, but I really enjoyed the game, even though like a lot of people weren't necessarily happy with the combat system and other certain systems they implemented. But I thought the game was fantastic. Okay, maybe I'll say great instead of fantastic, but I really did enjoy my time with that game. Quick little scroll. Little Nightmares is another like horror-based linear type of game. No Man's Sky, another case of terrible launch, but it is now in a fantastic, incredible state.
Agreed.
I'm scrolling.
I'll give you two more, and then we'll cruise.
All right, cool. Oh no, the pressure. I'm into. I've read some visual novels in the past. Steins Gate is a very good one.
Great anime
Which,
too.
great, yeah, for sure. Oh, it's my favorite. Uh, one more. What do we got? You know what? I'll shout out Valheim. Fantastic survival crafter. It could run on most people's PCs probably. Got a nice style, and the Viking theme you can never get rid of.
See, like I like Valheim, but for me, I like the two themes that I don't like the most are Western and like Viking Nordic stuff.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I hate cowboys, hate them. So like I will never
Yeah.
play Red Dead Redemption, ever.
I get that vibe. I think if a game's good, if the gameplay is good, then it's probably a game that I would eventually play. Now, of course,
Yeah.
I can't play all the games, but
You could try.
I could try. I guess the same could go for Ark. Maybe I'd hop in and I would really enjoy what they have to offer, their gameplay, their mechanics, all that. Maybe I'd enjoy it. All I have to do is hop in and see. But it having that factor of dinosaurs. Well, I'm not as into that is sort of to its detriment for me as a gameplay enjoyer, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
Sorry, we can move on now.
No, you're good. You're good. No, like we're only at an hour and a half. So
Oh, damn.
is it like, oh damn, is it you thought it was longer or you thought it was shorter than that?
Honestly, I'm unsure. I'm just talking and hoping that I'm not taking an insane amount of time and lingering too long. I want to keep it interesting,
No, you're perfect. You're perfect. I'm sure people, if they don't want to hear you talk about like some other games, because like RuneScape players, some of them can be kind of weird about that stuff. They'll skip that part.
They're literally just RuneScape players. So I get that.
That's also
I
why
respect
like that question is near the end, because retention about this time is pretty low.
Yeah.
This is like, at this point, this is like where I'm like falling asleep. This is like, if I'm listening to this fall asleep, this is like I'm awake. I'm asleep at this point, man. I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. I totally get that.
But that doesn't mean we can't continue on and enjoy ourselves.
Exactly. For sure.
Because there will be a few people who listen to the whole thing. So this is for you still listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that being said, I think I have two final questions. The first one is kind of a dual question. What is your favorite and least favorite update that has come out, whether it be recently or whether it be like farther, like years ago, whatever?
Ooh, I can hit this one real quick on the favorite update, Project Rebalance. I think it was pretty well done, and I'm glad that they finally reworked Magic. It's been in need of some form of change for years, and having everything hinge upon having the occult, I always thought was odd as a gameplay design choice. And now that they've remedied that, I am happy. As for least favorite update, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of being locked at LMS. I understand it. Look, I get it, Jagex. You got to control the bots, but these are called band-aid fixes for a reason, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, they locked LMS. And I genuinely think I was the only person affected by this because they set the requirements to 750 total and 30 quest points. I can only get a maximum of 738 total, and I have more quest points. And then they added afterwards an alternative of having 1500 skill total, which helped another snowflake that I knew at the time by the name of Young Sauce. And he was able to do LMS again. He's a no quest Iron Man. So, as you can probably imagine, 750 total and 30 quest points. Well, no quests, right?
Uh huh.
So, it helped him get back in, but not me. And ever since that day, I have the episode. I remember the episode name. It was called Change, and it's not even the fact that I am missing things from LMS. I don't even necessarily know if there's an insane amount of things in LMS that I could make use of. I know the Carol bolt racks at the time I would have liked to make use of because I ended up getting the Carol's crossbow after a while.
Maybe the swift blade for Tob.
True, but I could also get the ham joint from, is it Easy Clues for that? And
I
I
have
have the
that. I have
Inquisitor's
that.
armor.
I have that on my account.
Yeah. So I think the ham joint would probably be the better option for me since I have the crush oriented armor for the accuracies of
That's
that.
true.
So not even like the swift blade. But I also just enjoyed doing LMS on Inquisitor. I don't know. LMS is one of the few PKing or PvP activities that I can actually get into and enjoy myself doing. At the time, at least. I'm probably washed up now for PvP, so yeah, that's definitely the worst in my opinion. And the worst part about it, it happened on a random Wednesday. So it was like Tuesday night, I have access. The next morning, I wake up, get on, read the patch notes, and I've lost access. And it just blew my mind because it could just happen one random Wednesday.
That's just how
Okay,
Jagex be,
passion
man.
over.
They just be screwing us over. Now, it's time for you to go 45 defense then.
Oh boy. Actually, I could get 42 defense for Void and get 750 total and unlock LMS again. But I'm too far gone as a 30
That's true.
defenser.
That's true. That'd be basically like, maybe it feels like a different arc of the account, but who knows? We'll see. Maybe one day. Wink. I'll watch.
I'll tell you, I've considered multiple different things multiple different times for Inquisitor, but it all really comes back to the way that I'm playing the game right now and the way I'm enjoying it. And this is the state of Inquisitor that I'm loving the most right now, you know?
I respect that because people have always asked if I'm like ever gonna break level 3 on Mayfield, and I'm like, no. Why would I do that?
Yeah, like I made this account for a purpose and it is now serving that purpose. That's the way that I see it.
100%.
And don't get me wrong, I've considered leveling defense in the past, for example, but would I realistically do it? I've seen the DPS calcs. I've done the DPS calcs. I know that I do more damage, but I've lived with the account for years at 30 defense and it's just one of those things.
Plus, it's pretty unique to you.
Yeah. I truly think this is a one of a kind account. If I'm being honest, I don't know anyone else like this. And if you do, I would love to know because then maybe we could be friends. I don't know.
You're like, I'm lonely. I'm lonely out here, guys.
To be fair, there are other 807 accounts, and that is really cool. We have like a clan, 807 clan, and there are other people who do enjoy playing this way. Just like how there's other skillers who like playing that way, right?
Oh
It's
yeah,
just like
there
coming
are.
together, making communities. It's fun. Good stuff.
Sometimes there's just far too many skillers, though. Everybody thinks Everybody thinks they want to be a level 3 skiller until they're like, they hit like 50 base, and they're like, what now? What 99 should I go for? Fletching. No,
Yeah,
do
I
do
think
agility. Be a man.
I think unique accounts are not for the faint of heart, you know? Because you really have to commit to the bit. You have to decide. And in my opinion, you should decide your rules of your account right at the start and stick with them.
100%. That's the thing too. I think a lot of people like they see the videos people make and they're like, that looks cool, I want to do that. And then they kind of forget about the extreme time commitment to get to like the same place that you could do in 100 hours on a regular account could take up to like 500 on a snowflake.
Yeah, it's what you see in the videos is the fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
You don't see the hours of grind in the background which got me to the fun stuff or got you to the fun stuff or any other series that you're watching. You're watching the fun stuff and the storytelling at hand, right?
100%.
So that's just the way I see it.
So I actually had a side question that I'm not a part of the main two questions I had for you that I wanted to ask you back when we were talking about other games. Have you considered making like other YouTube videos, like a different channel for like your other games?
Yes and no. So I said earlier in the cast that I used to make other videos. My channel actually used to be a variety channel
Correct.
before
Yeah.
I unlisted these videos. Um, it's actually, if I can find the playlist here, where are we? Am I blind? I'm blind. Oh, there it is. Old videos or old uploads. It's an unlisted playlist that I have that I just put all the videos that I unlisted into. I have unlisted 1,165 videos
Oh
from my
my
channel.
god.
Yep. So I do have a seasoned history of uploading various other games onto my channel, and recently I have been considering going back and watching some more of the, I guess, higher edited, the better edited ones, because I used to upload Call of Duty, CS:GO, Minecraft. Uh, I was into all sorts of things. I did Let's Plays of like Metro series. I played This War of Mine. That's another game. Then I had the Gmod RP, of course, and that's just like all the playlists that I've seen. Oh, I also got in on the Fortnite craze, but I don't play that game anymore.
We don't talk about
It's all
Fortnite anymore.
changed. It's all changed since the good years of season 2. Season 2 was the best. Oh my god. We had some good times. Anyways, yeah. But I have had a, I guess, seasoned history of doing other videos, playing other games, but I guess in the past years I've sort of committed to RuneScape, whether to my detriment or not, of it being in such a, I guess, a niche MMORPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm enjoying it, and I think ultimately I'd love to be at a state where I could upload any video to my channel and people would enjoy it, but that's just not the reality we live in, right? People want to subscribe to, at least in the RuneScape community, they want to subscribe to a RuneScape channel and get RuneScape content, and that's just what it comes down to. As for making a new channel, I think I'm at one of those points where I'm happy and excited to put all the time that I can into editing RuneScape videos and making them the best that they can be, and giving myself that free time and not recording other games or other, you know, types of videos for YouTube consumption, I guess we can say. Because I don't just want to start doing like, oh, let's do Let's Plays again or whatever, because that's the old YouTube meta. I would have to continue to innovate and come up with new ideas, keeping everything fresh. And I don't really want my life to be constantly churning out video after video. I want to put my heart into something specific. And that's for now, at least, right?
Well said.
Thank you.
All right. For my finale question. Before I get to that, anything else, anything you want to say?
Hmm. I think this has been a good cast so far, to be honest.
I've had a
I've
good time.
enjoyed myself a lot.
I'm glad. I'm
Thank you
glad
for
you had a
having
good time. It's always a worry of mine.
me. Yeah.
It's always a stressor. So the final question I have for you is, where do you see yourself in regards to your future playing RuneScape? Whether it be 5 years, 10 years, however long. Like, are you kind of I'll be done when I'm done, or do you kind of have like a, maybe one day I'll quit, maybe I'll never quit type attitude?
I think that really just depends on how life goes, right? Because we renovated this house and selling it again and moving again, and it's one of those things that I gotta see where life takes me. And I know for season 1 of Inquisitor, if you interviewed me at that time, originally season 1 of Inquisitor, I had planned to take around, I think it was 2 years. It was a year or 2 years that I had originally planned for Inquisitor to like start to end, and that's where I was gonna call it. And I will admit, maybe I got a little overexcited, hopping right into season 2 after season 1, uh, just because of how well the mega cut video did. I just sort of really hopped in on that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say I would go back and change that, right? Like, I think getting or having that main goal of the Inquisitor's Mace right now and my current goals is a fantastic place to be, and I'm still really enjoying the account. But as for 5 years in the future, I hope to have the mace before 5 years, if I'm entirely honest. If it takes me 5 years, well, welcome me into the newest high scores of dryness, because holy moly, with my 5-minute walks to Fasani's Nightmare, that's a lot of time.
That would be a lot of time.
But yeah, I plan to make content for as long as I can make content for. I've considered looking into editing for other people, but it's one of those things where I've done it for so long that I'd probably prefer to just stick to myself and my content, however niche it should be. And I don't know. I guess part of that's just discovering my value of, well, if I want to work for other people, how much should I get paid? You know?
Yeah, know
But
your
yeah,
own
for
worth,
now. Exactly. But for now, it's just like, I think the cleanest thing that I can do to live to my values and my life is just continue doing what I'm doing right now. Because as I said earlier, if I were to describe my perfect life, I'm living it right now.
Beautiful. Well, Sam, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you again for having me on. It's been fun.
All of your links will be in the description. Is there anything else you want to plug besides YouTube and Twitter and all that fun stuff?
Yeah. I have the great legendary URL of /LYFE. That's life with a Y. So if you want to search up the channel, you can check out the videos, youtube.com/life.
Oh, it will be linked. Don't worry.
Oh, cool. That also helps a lot.
I mean, is there any other links besides that and your Twitter that you want in the description of the video?
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter if you want. I do that thing where I post stuff and I post the thumbnail previews of the videos and give little thoughts on RuneScape updates and so on and so forth. So follow me on Twitter if you want. Shout out to, I guess, the 807 clan in game. If you are on the other side of the fence of skillers, consider making a combat only account. We have a very good community and 354 people in the clan and counting.
Sounds wonderful.
And thank you.
I will not be joining
Thank
you there.
Thank you for your time. It's been good.
Thank you as well. And as well, if you like the video, go ahead and tap the like button, I suppose, and subscribe to my channel after you subscribe to Sam's. So,
Like and subscribe.
Beautiful. And if you made it this far, and always the most humble appreciation is people who make it this far and like listen to the whole thing. So
we appreciate you.